Thank you. Mr. Chairman, you know, I share your concern about the Asian carp. And I do wonder whether we have the right architecture as a country to solve this. In other words, you've got the big burden on your back as the Corps. But for example, in terms of genetic research, I don't know if the Vicksburg lab of the Corps is sufficient. I look at other instrumentalities that we have at NOAA, at Department of Commerce, that I keep thinking about our own research labs at DOE. We need a genetic solution, perhaps, I don't know, but it just seems like the carp are getting ahead of us. And we have a fish out strategy working with the Department of Interior. And I don't think it's enough. And I had one member from your state, Mr. Chairman, I won't say who it was, he came up to me. He never cared about it until it hit his district. And then all of a sudden he went crazy. Okay, so I really do need your advice, not now, but think about who else could help across the government of the United States. What can we do to stop this spread? We're going to put up engineering barriers, that's part of it, but there are probably genetic controls. We can't seem to get to the scientific answer. And so I'm just asking for your advice there. Who else would you like to have partners around the table? I don't know how you feel about it, Mr. Chair.
Well, I share the ranking member's sentiments, and of course, for years, the ranking member has been a champion for the Great Lakes watershed, and I thank her for that. God forbid these invasive species get there. So I will commit to working with the ranking member and anybody who will work with us in Congress on this issue to get a viable solution. I yield back to the gentlelady.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, very much. And just we really appreciate your advice and welcome your advice, General, in this area. I wanted to just switch for a second on the dredge material issue also. In our region, we have the largest budget in the Great Lakes for Lake Erie, as you well know. It fits every year. If you were to put all that material together, it would rise 400 feet high in the Cleveland Browns Stadium. And some people have said to me, well, you should fill the Cleveland Browns Stadium. But, you know, when you think about that year after year after year, and I think of our scientific capabilities, my goodness, what can we do with that dredge material? I keep thinking, Cleveland has the largest sewage treatment plant in all of Ohio. And it does amazing things because of science. We are able to produce fertilizer at the end of the process that EPA approves. And I keep looking at this dredge material. Again, I go to the high science. We have all these research labs. Is there a bigger answer here where we can use the dredge material? We wouldn't have to, you know, go to the 20th century solution of confined disposal facilities, but where we can put it through tubes, right? And we can figure out whether there's dissolved reactive phosphorus, whether there's beryllium in there, whatever it is. It seems to me that there's a way for detection. If we are going to Mars, you mean to tell me we can't decide what to do on Earth with our dredge material? Again, I ask you for your scientific and engineering recommendations that would guide us as, you know, mere House representatives here from our region trying to do the best for the people going forward. If you put a consortium table together with the EPA, with our energy research labs, with Vicksburg, whatever, let's go after this from another way that is perhaps more promising going forward. Maybe it's impossible, but I just, and in this regard, I'll just put on the table this interesting fact. As we try to look at new forms of power, we're realizing we're wasting a lot of power. And this committee is energy and water. We have solutions nobody else can come up with. The Cleveland sewage treatment plant in 1 year throws into Lake Erie the equivalent of 400,000 barrels of oil and waste heat. Imagine if we could use that power all across America, all across the Great Lakes, and create a sub-utility to help process this very stuff, this dredge material. Imagine if we could do that. We're thinking in the past. We have nuclear power plants along our shore. I believe by regulation, they throw that waste heat into Lake Erie at a temperature of 93 degrees. That's wasted thermal heat. We have the ability to do things that other centuries haven't had, but I don't see the thinking across the government. I think it's too stovepiped into different agencies rather than sort of crossbred. And I just share that with you as we try to figure out what to do with this dredge material. Please answer a question about if you could reshape how we find the answer both to the Asian carp threat and to the contaminated sediment. Help us. Help us put that architecture together across the federal government. Final question, Mr. Chairman, real quickly. In terms of enlistment in the Corps, do you have skills that you are short? And have you considered creating a program like Starbase that works across DOD to help encourage young people to come into the sciences, engineering, solving real problems for this country? There is one called Starbase that is used in different places that is already authorized. I would love to have your suggestion on what we could do through the Corps. You touch every community in the country. I mean, you have an unbelievable ability to draw young people in, and I just want to push you a little bit in that direction. Thank you very much. My time has expired.
And I thank the ranking member for her questions. Folks, ladies and gentlemen, we have had some additional members show up, so I want to welcome them. At this point in time, I'd like to recognize Ms. Malloy of Utah, my friend, for 5 minutes. She is a water attorney by profession, so not only is she more than welcome on this committee, but she's going to help me on the water side. So,
Mr. Chairman,
Ms.
with the
Malloy.
chairman yields, I want to
Yes.
compliment you because under your leadership, and I hope I've helped, we've had such great turnout on our subcommittee. If you look across the Congress and what happens, this is a working subcommittee. Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and members that have come.
And I thank the ranking member, and I appreciate that. The ranking member has chaired this subcommittee before. I do it. We've had other members do it. But there is a tremendous degree of cooperation, and it really is a source of pride and inspiration, I hope. But I thank the ranking member. With that, I recognize Ms. Malloy.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. For the benefit of the people who are here to testify, I apologize that I missed the first round. I had another hearing at the same time, so I got here as quick as I could. Mr. Cameron.